Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into what feels like the ultimate everyday clash, this constant tug of war between getting enough rest and, grinding out that next big project. If you've ever felt completely torn between just going to sleep or pushing through to hustle, well, you are definitely not alone. In the next 7 minutes or so, we're going to build a totally new, wholesome understanding of how these two forces actually work together. And honestly, I'm hoping we can dismantle a whole lot of that leftover guilt along the way.
So, why exactly does resting feel like you're failing? I want you to really stop and think about that for a second. When you finally snap your laptop shut or you actually lie down on the couch, is there this annoying little voice in the back of your head whispering that you should be doing more? For so many of us dealing with burnout, and I know I've been there, taking a break just comes with this heavy, heavy dose of guilt. It's like somehow you're letting yourself down, or worse, letting your ambitions down.
And here's exactly why it feels that way. We've all been sold this painfully broken paradigm. Society basically tells us that sleep is just, slowing down, like it's some sort of weakness. Meanwhile, hustle, well, that's supposedly the ultimate way of proving you care. It sets up this awful, false choice: progress or rest, ambition or exhaustion. But what if I told you that is fundamentally not how the human system works? Like, not at all. All right, that brings us to our first major shift in thinking. Section 1, rest is hidden infrastructure. We really have to stop looking at sleep as just a pause button. Think of a massive skyscraper. It needs lights, cooling, and maintenance running all night long just so the tower can actually function the next day, right? You need rest in the exact same way. Sleep protects your capacity while hustle spends it. That's the core system. If your engine is already overheating, slamming your foot on the gas pedal doesn't make the car go faster. It literally just guarantees you'll break down sooner. Finding balance, it's all about wise timing, knowing exactly when your system is being restored and when it's being used. Let's look at a metaphor we can all immediately relate to: your smartphone. Most people picture resting as just plugging in and refilling the battery fuel, but your phone needs way more than just a quick charge, doesn't it? It has to do background updates, clean up its memory, cool down the processor. Your brain and your body work the exact same way. During rest, you're actively lowering internal strain. You're allowing intense emotions to finally settle down and giving your muscles a chance to actually recover. You can also think of your brain like a really busy office. All day long, papers are getting scattered everywhere. Desks are just covered in half-finished projects. Well, sleep is the overnight cleanup crew. If that crew just decides not to show up, tomorrow starts with yesterday's mess piled right on top of today's new work. Sleep is in there organizing your memory, cementing what you learned, sharpening your focus, and stabilizing your emotions. It is absolutely crucial for protecting your brain's natural sorting process. As the research points out, a really useful analogy here is driving a car with a windshield completely covered in dust. Because look, thinking is not free. Every single decision you make uses up mental resources. When you skimp on rest, you're creating massive system friction. The car still runs, right? The road is still there, but suddenly every tiny, simple action takes so much more effort because you just can't see clearly. Rest cleans that windshield. When you look at this from a system-level view, the stakes are super obvious. Let's break it down. Rest restores usable energy, so missing it means you feel totally exhausted even when you've basically done nothing. Rest sorts your memory. Without it, your brain just feels like a crowded, noisy room. It reduces friction, meaning if you skip it, sending a simple one-line email suddenly feels like climbing Mount Everest. Rest supports adaptation, so without it, all your hard efforts stops turning into actual improvement. And crucially, rest gives you perspective. It's what keeps tiny everyday problems from feeling like massive 5-alarm emergencies. Let's transition over to the second part. Section 2, productivity is conversion. So how do we actually drive this engine now that we understand it? Well, first off, productivity is not a personality trait. It isn't just doing more stuff or being busy. Being busy is just motion. Real productivity is a conversion process. It's your capacity applied to a clear target. Think about water flowing through pipes. Water alone isn't really useful if it doesn't have somewhere to go, and pipes are completely useless if they're empty. You literally need both the pressure and the direction to get anywhere. To actually make that conversion happen, you need 3 specific ingredients. First, energy. That's what powers your effort. Second, attention, which keeps that effort locked onto the target. And third, direction, which tells your effort what actually matters in the first place. Now, if even one of those is weak, your hard-earned effort just leaks right out. You start drifting, you fall into the multitasking trap, or you end up working incredibly hard on entirely the wrong things. I absolutely love the sailboat metaphor for explaining this. The wind, that's your energy, your intensity. The sail is your direction. Now, a lot of modern hustle culture just screams for more wind, more pressure, more urgency, go, go, go. But intensity without structure, that just blows the boat sideways. You can't always control the wind, but you can choose the angle of your sail. Direction matters so much more than mere motion.
And honestly, this completely debunks the biggest myth in all of hustle culture, the idea that output rises linearly with the hours you put in. It absolutely does not. Just imagine a consultant staying up all night to polish a slide deck. By 6 a.m., sure, the slides might look slightly better, but their thinking is sluggish, their memory is shot, and their confidence is tanking. The human system just doesn't work in straight lines. Eventually, fatigue increases way faster than output ever could. Which brings us right to our final section. Section 3, finding your sustainable rhythm. Okay, get ready, because here is the real aha moment of this whole explainer. Rest is not the reward for hustle. Let me say that again. It is a core part of what makes hustle effective in the first place. If you only value output, rest just looks like an annoying interruption. But once you actually understand the system, rest becomes the essential hidden infrastructure that stops your performance from just collapsing under its own weight. This realization, it completely dismantles the guilt around taking a break. Once you fully accept this, it unlocks what I like to call a superpower: self-correction without the drama. You don't have to sit there anymore agonizing, am I just being lazy? That's a blunt, honestly useless question. Instead, you can look at the dashboard of your life and ask, okay, is the problem my attention? Is it my direction? Or do I literally just need recovery right now? You can start making so much better choices without having to rely on perfect, endless motivation. And that leaves us with this incredibly powerful, provocative final thought to mull over. Ask yourself, what does your system need right now to perform well later? Sleep is not the enemy of ambition, guys. And hustle, it isn't proof of your worth as a human being. They are simply tools. By honoring this sustainable rhythm, you can finally drop the guilt, protect your capacity, and achieve your goals with crystal clear focus. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Now go manage your system brilliantly.